Honored to play in the Gavitt Cup. I definitely had a friendship with Dave Gavitt, held him in incredible high regard, especially as a young coach, the way he always treated me and his son. Dan has been a friend of mine for a long time. Does a great job with the NCAA, but when you look at what Dave Gavitt did over a period of time in basketball, really if there was a Mount Rushmore for people that have increased the rise in the value of the college basketball game, he would be on it. It's debatable who else would be on it, but there should be no debate that he would be on it. And because he had so much foresight, so much vision, did so many things. Obviously, it's so much of it is in history now with what he did with the Big East and what he did in the game. But the vision that he had is being lived out constantly. And when you look at the business of college basketball and just how much of a valuable commodity it is all the way across the board and what kind of a worldwide thing it is. He had a lot to do with that. So it's an honor to play in this with something that's got his name in it. And as far as Creighton, I mean, there is no doubt that we're playing a extremely fast, very energetic, they're a very, very tough opponent. It's going to take all of us going all out to have a shot to squeak out a win. They move without the ball, they move with the ball, they play with tremendous purpose. Their spacing is as good as I've seen, and it's really, if we weren't playing them, we'd be using them as a template for what spacing looks like. And obviously we're showing some of that when we watch film of preparing for them. But their commitment to the corners, their commitment to get the ball thrown ahead, tremendous. I mean, they look at mid-season form with that. They're physical, they've got great presence at the rim, they play very well together. Greg McDermott's an outstanding coach. He's been for a long time. And they get a lot of attention for the offense like we're talking about, but they also play outstanding defense, whether they're in their 1-2-2 press, back to a zone, whether they're in their man-to-man. Again, they're physical, they're aggressive, and it is going to be a tremendous challenge for us tomorrow night. So they do a lot offensively with the three. They shoot almost 48%, I think, of their shots, give or take. Percentage-wise, I guess I should say almost 50% of their shots are threes. Right now, they're shooting at a pretty good rate. But again, it's the speed and quickness, it's the penetration, it's the veteran play, and then it's the addition of their transfers who are a little bit older now and know their system that are making a huge difference, like Watson and Huff and having Isaiah Zierden back. So we're going to have a great battle. Go ahead.
Not to even overlook this or look too far ahead, but how valuable can these next 2 weeks be for a team at this time of year? Does it almost force you guys to kind of adjust, learn, develop on the fly?
Well, we're going to deal with a lot of, no matter who we're playing, starting tomorrow night, we're going to deal with a lot of physical basketball, very aggressive basketball, and teams that know how to play. Like if this team is the team I'm watching on film that's predicted in their conference in the Big East, well, the Big East is going to be the best conference in the country by far, because they're way better than that. I mean, to me, and again, we could probably end up saying the same thing with who our opponents are next week. So, to me, it's a real balancing act now, making sure that we're getting better every day, making sure that we're staying committed to what we have to be good at, but at the same time preparing for games. But right now, this is a very hard preparation, because frankly, they're better at what we want to be really good at than we are right now. And we've got to be better at it tomorrow night and eventually be better at it consistently. But tomorrow night, our transition defense will be extremely valuable. Our ability to rebound, our ability to defend the corners, get the ball stopped, make the next pass, have accuracy with our passing, all the things that we're going to need all the way down the road are going to be extremely important, and it starts tomorrow.
I guess to that end, and especially I think probably this, we've got where you get this game, and then I imagine you leave pretty quickly from Maui, and the time change and playing 3 games in 3 days. You've been to Maui before. How do you help these guys through it? I know you've got a veteran group. So
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that on Friday. We leave Friday, but right now, the most important thing is that they stay absolutely centered on what we're doing tomorrow night, because that team is good, and we'll take all those measuring sticks that we have to take as a team, but right now, the most important thing by far is making sure that we understand how good Creighton is tomorrow.
They obviously got a couple of really athletic guys, like Thomas and Rantage. I don't know if I'm saying that exactly right. Are they going to be another test for your perimeter defense as far as going against guys who can drive the ball?
They're going to be a test for the entire team because they have multiple position players. You know, Huff can swing. Thomas is extremely good. Front line can roll. They do a great job. They're an excellent passing team. They're one of the best. We call it the pocket pass. I mean, they're one of the best ball screen passing teams that these guys will have played. And the other thing, because of their shooting in space, they do such a great job of selling a screen that's not a screen. Because they want you to bite on it so they can create a quick double team so they can get it swung to a shooter that might be 6'9" or 6'10". So it's going to be a great test all the way across the board. The thing that they do so well, there's three things that they do extremely well outside of shooting. Okay, they all shoot the ball, from what I can see well. They run the court extremely hard. All right, when they drive it, they pound it. I mean, they put the ball in the ground, and it's very hard to take it away from them. They do a great job of offensive rebounding. And the way Watson passes the ball, I think he's in 12 assists, 4 turnovers right now in 2 games, and he was one of the nation's leaders when he was at BU. So he's outstanding. But at the same time, because the way they move the ball, everybody has got a hard job tomorrow night because you've got to be alert and aware. And you cannot watch the ball or somebody's going to be cutting behind you or standing wide open for a 3 in the corner, which we don't want that to happen.
You talked a little bit about it, but I know when people talk about defensive improvement with this team, they're looking at field goal percentages and points per possession, things like that. And I imagine some of you are too, but how important is rebounding to that?
Oh, extremely important because it's not just to block out. We've got to go get the ball. And we've got to be a team around rebounding team, and we've got to be really good at rebounding from the guard position. I mean, there's just no way around it. We've got, especially defensively. And I mean, and it showed the other night with Yogi getting 4 offensive rebounds and the capability for the guards with the way the ball is moving. It's a matter of where you're at on the court right now, and we're learning that. And tomorrow, if there's any doubt, we've got them back, right? We can't go to the board and go halfway, and then all of a sudden they're down the court and they've got a 3-on-2 or a 3-on-1 going down on the other end. But defensive blockouts, defensive ball pursuit, the ability to block out with those guys out of the corners, because it's one thing to run to the corner. They don't run to the corner and stand. That shot goes up, they fly to the glass. And in the case of a couple of them, we'll get run over if we just stand there. So our guys, we're going to have an extreme physical test. And one of the great plays you show your quickness, your toughness, and your physicality is in the blockout game. And we need everybody to be involved in that.
I guess,
How would you,
sorry, just one follow-up.
Go ahead.
Just, this maybe is probably oversimplifying it a little bit, but as much as you had to ask guys to be even tougher to sort of rebound out of their position a little bit last year, now you've got Juwan, Thomas, Max. Are you seeing guys, I guess, for having to go through, having to be as creative as they were and maybe as tough-minded as they were last year, everybody's better at rebounding now because of that experience combined with adding?
No, we're not there yet. No, our rebounding is not, it's not early season form yet. It's not. And I know we've had some good rebound games, but it's not, forget mid-season form, it's not even an early season form. We've got to be absolutely committed to getting to the glass. And because again, the guys that are at the basket, that's a different situation, right? You're trying to create some rim protection, some rim presence when the shot goes up. It's more about the perimeter rebounding too, especially, I think between the two teams, they're both averaging, I think, 68 threes in the 2 games. I mean, so there's going to be a lot of long rebounds, which means there's going to be a lot of guard rebounds. And 50-50 balls are going to be very, very huge. They're always huge, but they're going to be huge in a game like this. So there's physicality to it, there's awareness to it, there's quickness to it, but it's really just a consistency of going all the time and making sure that you're keeping your man from it. So that's where we've got to grow up in a hurry, and that goes back to the question about the next couple of weeks. There's not a game coming up that couldn't be exposed in if we're not really good at it.
after going back and watching the film of the first 2 games, how would you grade the perimeter defense right now?
I don't grade. I don't really grade. I'm not a teacher, not a professor, so I
What
evaluate.
would you say it's at?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not being, I'm really not. We're just trying to get better at different things.
Well, I guess maybe a better way to say it, what did you like, what did you not like?
Well, I think we're aggressive. I'll say we're aggressive, but we've got to not be reckless. You know, before we can become a really good pressure defensive team of getting up and guarding full court, we've got to be able to get the foundation of our half court right. And because our frontline guys are so new, right? They're so young and they're so new. In the case of Max New, we put too much pressure on them if we gamble for a ball and don't get it, and now you're creating all these 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s in your half-court defense, right? And you don't want that because you gambled for a steal. We want to create deflections. We had a ton of them the other night, but we want to be aggressive without fouling, okay? Which is obvious, but we want to be aggressive without being reckless and taking chances because the teams are too good. And even Austin Peay the other night did some of that. So when we're solid, when we're aggressive, and some of our scoring was misleading because we got turnovers the other night. We gave the ball right back. You know, there were a few times during the game where we gave that back, so we didn't capitalize on turnovers. I'd like to see us do a better job of that. But if I really had to sum it up, it'd be not taking chances, capitalize on turnovers, and make sure we're blocking out better, and then do our work early in post defense.
Okay, Coach, thank you.
All right, thank you.